Okay, I'm gonna give a quick tour on how the startup sequence works on this MG Midget, powered by a Lexus GS450H transmission unit and matching inverter. Thanks to the Open Inverter Forum folks for all their help and custom software and hardware to make this happen. So my wiring behind the dashboard, and I'll explain this panel in a second. There is a master battery switch that is already turned on, and so I've got a remote here. I'm going to probably change this because it's gotten to be a little overkill, but this is the way it works now. So when I turn on the this switch here,
Bluetooth mode.
It fires up power to the fuse box, which gives me my battery management display here. Shows me state of charge, voltage, balance status, the level of kind of a color grid here, which shows me the level of all the batteries. This is a dilithium systems battery management system, and it's a 96P pack, and there it's monitoring live all the values there. It was a really simple system to set up. It's got a lot of good options, or at least all that I need. 2 voltmeters, one just they're not terribly accurate, and I really got them to just fill the holes. That's where the fuel gauge and temperature gauge were. The tachometer was here, and then this is also where the original speedometer was, and that is a autometer electronic speedometer, which is tied into the 2-pin output pulse connection on the tail of the transmission. It just connects right to it. It was easy peasy. So in this mode, the car is on, and there's a water pump that's running because the DC to DC converter is on, and the inverter is not on, but the DC to DC converter is on, and it needs to be cooled while it's on. Doesn't have to be, but I wanted to make sure the water was on whenever the DC is on, so that's running. So the brake light is telling me that I need to depress the brake, so I do that, and that light goes off, and then another red indicator comes on here, which is telling me that the system is in the physical park mode. This transmission has an actual parking pawl on it, just like the car. Obviously, when you put the car in park, it physically locks the transmission, and so I have that set up, and the light tells me that that's the situation. This part's clearly not well thought out, but this handle right here is connected to the parking actuator, or the physical lever. So I push that in, and the parking light goes out, as you can see. And then I have another indicator here behind this mesh that tells me that the inverter is on and ready to go. And now the car is actually just about ready, but I do have a neutral switch here. Did you hear that? Here, let me start over. This blue light tells me that the inverter is running. This yellow tells me that we are in neutral, if you will. All that does is disconnects power to the pins that tell the inverter that we're in either drive or reverse. That's all that does. It's a bit of a kill switch if things go sideways. I also have a steering wheel mounted kill switch that cuts power to the whole system and resets the remote relay. So there's a couple of ways to get yourself out of trouble. But when we put ourselves out of park and we're out of neutral, you heard that. Let me put it somewhere where you can hear it a little better. That is MG1 spinning up to provide oil pressure. That is not the electric oil pump. That is MG1 spinning on its own to bring up the oil pressure. Let me take the handbrake off here. So now we're in drive, ready to go. And let me give it some gas. I'm at my garage here. We're rolling backwards because my driveway is on a bit of a hill. But let me, I'll push the gas and hopefully you'll be able to hear everything once we back up a little bit. I do have a couple of ways to get into reverse while we're here. This switch here puts me into reverse, and there's an indicator light on the dash that shows me I'm in reverse. But also, I've wired the stalk here, which used to be the wash position, and that puts me into reverse as well. So I push this and push the gas, and now we're going backwards. So now we'll go forward. You'll be able to hear what everything sounds like. And that's how it works. So it's been a great project, and I hope this gives you a sense of what of what I've done. Other switches, this is my daytime running lights. This is, of course, reverse. This is my neutral. This turns on and off my BMS display, because sometimes at night it can be a little distracting. This turns on and off the radio, which is a Bluetooth module that I put in here. I've got speakers in the rear deck there. And then this, I've got a temperature gauge that monitors my water temperature just for giggles, and that turns that on and off. So dilithium design, I just turned that back on. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.